again this morning. Just thank God for a beautiful day, no matter what it looks like, no matter even what it feels like today. Just another day at Souls Harbor Full Gospel Church is all right with me. While everyone is in a panic mode, it's okay to be concerned. And it's also good to use wisdom in regards to this latest virus that's out. And you know which one I'm referring to. But God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. I'm Reverend Kevin McClendon coming to you this morning just to encourage you a little bit, just to let you know this morning that God truly loves you. No matter what it even looks like or even what it feels like today. I would think on today, the church would be running over with people. Everyone is in a panic mode. But let's get it straight. The church is the place where you ought to be this morning. You don't want to go to church because you're afraid that you're going to catch something. But guess what? You go to Walmart, you go to your doctor visits, and you go any and everywhere else you have to go, including work. But when it comes to the church, oh no, I'm not going to go to church today. I'm afraid to shake that hand. Yeah, be concerned about shaking hands. I admit, I'm suspending handshaking myself. But guess what? I'm still trusting God. And I'm looking up this morning because great is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And I decree Psalms 91 not only over my life, but over all those that are connected to me. And also I decree Psalms 91 over your life. So don't be so scared, but start praying and asking God to provide a hedge of protection all around you on today. I come before you with a message that is going to actually provoke you to think this morning. God gave me this message. Many may not like it, and I don't care, because I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not a yes man, except to God. That's not saying I don't answer to someone, because I do. I believe in accountability. I believe in being checked as well. And we want you to get in the habit of having an accountability partner. So my sermon today is simply going to deal with accountability. Before I give you the subject, let's go over and turn to Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 3. While you're turning there, Heavenly Father, I come before you holy, humbly, and boldly, thanking you for what you've already done and thanking you for what you're going to do. Heavenly Father, I ask that you bless each and every one of us and even those that are connected to us. Bless each family that's represented on today. Lord, I ask that you decrease me and increase in me, that I may deliver this unadulterated word of God. Lord, I will say what you say, and I will do what you say do, and then I will simply sit down. So Heavenly Father, I ask that you open their spiritual ears that they may hear. I ask that you open their spiritual eyes that they may see what thus saith the Lord is saying to them. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11 and 12 is what I'm going to read this morning. The Bible declares in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth. Even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth. My subject today is simply checkpoint. I repeat, my subject today is checkpoint. Too many are getting away with drifting away. We're not doing a very good job in keeping each other accountable. Just look around today. Just think about some of the places you've been, some of the churches you've been in. Just think about it. There is no accountability. But guess what? We are going to be held accountable for our actions. We're going to be held accountable for our actions. Even the words that we say out of our mouth, we will be held accountable for. Matthew 12:36 declares, "But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment." Accountability. Checkpoint. Don't forget the subject. Checkpoint. So then, every one of us shall give an account of himself to God. You won't give an account for me, and I certainly won't give an account for you. Romans 14:12. Let me read that again. So then every one of us shall give an account of himself to God. And I really hate to say this, but guess what? I'm going to say it anyway. Pastors many times are the worst. Instead of modeling accountability, we often think ourselves as above being accountable and having to answer to no one. Not only is that type of thinking is dangerous, it is not biblical. Nothing can kill a ministry faster than when the leader stumbles and his or her failures are brought to the light. No longer do people see all the good things that the ministry has done and or is even doing, but they only see the failures of the person. Isn't that a shame? No matter all the good things your ministry can do, but guess what? Let a scandal break out. Let someone see you doing something you don't have no business doing. That's all it takes. Right. The world is watching you and just waiting for you to fall. They're certainly watching Elder McClendon and waiting for him to fall. Accountability helps us to catch each other before we fall. Checkpoint. Accountability. Checkpoint. Someone is checking you. When I keep saying checkpoint, I'm referring to, are you being checked? Is someone checking you? Do you have an accountability partner? Yes. The world is watching you, waiting for you to fall. Sometimes leaders don't want to listen and think because they are a leader, they know everything. Wrong answer. Let me tell you today, as a leader, you do not know everything. And even as a member, you do not know everything. You deacon, you elder, you evangelist, you prophet, you bishop, you do not know everything. That is when you really mess up, when you think you know everything, and then you can get that self-righteous spirit. You're in danger of getting a self-righteous spirit. I know it all. Nobody can tell me anything. Nobody can check me. What is Elder McClendon talking about? Checkpoint. Nobody can check me. The devil is a liar. You can't be checked. Each one of us will one day have to stand before the great judge and give an account of our actions. Accountability helps us to prepare, Miss Dorothy. Prepare for that day, accountability. Some people don't want to be accountable to no one. They want to do their own thing and not be accountable. But guess what? Checkpoint. Someone needs to check you and someone have to check you. Amen. It helps us live a pure and holy life. Elder McClendon don't mind being checked. Sure, I have several accountability partners who check me all the time. And I love it. Because it helps me live a pure and holy life that I'm being checked. Because one day I'm going to have to give an answer for that. At least I can stand before God and say I did it God's way, according to God's standards. Hallelujah. If you would, please turn over with me into the book of Romans. Romans chapter 14. Romans chapter 14, verse 12. Romans chapter 14, verse 12. Actually, I'm going to start at the 11th verse. I'm going to read Romans chapter 14. Romans chapter 14, verse 11 through 13. This is important. For it is written, verse 11, as I live, said the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to God. So then every one of us shall give an account of himself to God. You're going to give account of yourself to God. Checkpoint. You're going to be checked. Whether you're going to be checked here on earth, you're certainly going to be checked. Because one day you will give an account to God. Amen. Verse 13, let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. Amen. Now, if you would, please, let's go back into the book of Proverbs. We need to go back to Proverbs 27. I could have kept you there when we were there, but we need to go back to Proverbs chapter 27. Proverbs chapter 27. In verse 17, the Bible declares in Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. I'm just going to read that one verse because I believe in this, and it's in the Word. Iron sharpened iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Isn't that awesome to know that iron sharpeneth iron? Checkpoint. Someone is checking me. Someone is checking you. Iron sharpeneth iron. Proverbs chapter 3 is actually something that's written from a father to a son. That's what Proverbs chapter 3 is all about. It's actually a father that's writing to his son. Actually, it's helping him and informing him how to treat others. Checkpoint. There seems to be an accountability issue in the body of Christ. As I said before, you've been around going to various places and even the televangelists and all the different TV ministries and just local churches that you know, it seems to be an accountability problem. So it has to be a checkpoint. People are falling today for anything. Yeah. And frankly, quite speaking, they're even falling away from the truth. And that's a shame. Today, more than ever, with all types of religious spirits, we even experiencing people with all types of religious spirits. And there is no accountability. That's why people don't want to come to church anymore. That's why they don't respect leadership anymore. There is no integrity. There is no character. In some cases, there are individuals with no business even being in the pulpit. Yeah. God is not pleased. I repeat, God is not pleased. And what you are doing is not going unnoticed. Some are simply jockeying for positions with no concern about the sheep as the under shepherd. No concern for the people. Hallelujah. I want to be the next ambassador. I want to be the next superintendent. I want to be the next bishop. Checkpoint. Who are checking you? There must be a check and balance. I suggest and I highly recommend that you get yourself an accountability partner. Now, what are you saying, Elder McClendon? Find yourself someone that can check you, an accountability partner that'll keep you straight. Find someone who will tell you the truth no matter what. Hallelujah. And that's hard to find nowadays because so much of this is going on. It's all about the dollar. It's all about the dollar. But find someone who's going to tell you the truth. You need the truth no matter what. Find someone who will tell you the truth when you are wrong. And please, by no means, whatever you do, don't get a yes man. Don't get a yes man. Surround yourself with a true confidant who you will allow to check you. Because some people think they're so high and mighty and up in their positions that they won't even allow you to check them. So you find you an accountability partner who will allow you to check them and keep you in line. Now hear me, and hear me good. I'm not talking about someone who would disrespect you or check you outside the established boundaries, because some people don't know how to check people. They'll just get you in front of anybody and start criticizing you and saying this and saying that. This isn't what Elder McClendon's not saying that. Find someone that can be your checkpoint or your accountability partner that will check you within the established boundaries. Meaning, this thing should be done privately.
Hallelujah.
Because you will be held accountable. Yeah. Understand this, that he who sits high is watching you. And others are watching you too. So you're not getting away, doing what you want to do because I'm the leader, saying what you want to say because you're the bishop. If you get a spirit of arrogance, pride, self-righteous, you are certainly in a danger zone. You are certainly in a danger zone. Remember that ultimately, you are responsible for your own behavior, but being checked can keep you from getting out of control. If more people check, we will have more people in control rather than out of control. It is dangerous not to admit you were wrong and seek forgiveness. Some leaders go on for years and know they're wrong, but because of pride, they won't seek forgiveness and they won't even ask for forgiveness. What a shame. Man's nature is to want to do his own thing without any or little accountability. Can you imagine that we just open church and say, come on in and do what you want to do? People would love it. This place will be filled. If we let people come in, we preach the watered down message, let you run around and do what you think you're big enough to do, this place will be filled. But guess what? We have a checkpoint in this place. That's right. And we have accountability in the house of God. And this whole thing actually started with the fall of man. It actually started with the fall of man, accountability. Without a sense of accountability of being checked, you can get out of control and even lose control if no one is checking you. Checkpoint. Accountability in the church terrifies most people because they don't want to be accountable. They want to do what they want to do, say what they want to say, and it's all good. But the devil is a liar. Accountability terrifies most people in the church. No one likes to be checked. Who wants to be checked? No one. No one likes to be checked. No one wants to be held accountable. We should embrace being checked along with accountability, and we should model it. We should embrace it. I certainly embrace being checked. My accountability partners call me and check me. I love it. I embrace it. Because one day I'm going to have to give account for what comes out of my mouth.
That's right.
Be careful not to establish yourself as a God. Some of us have got so high and mighty, we think we God. We come up there and we set up there in our beautiful robes, which I have nothing against because I have some of my own. But my point is, don't elevate yourself as a God. Be careful that you are not defying God. Be careful. Be careful your actions are not saying, who can check me? Because sometimes we walk around with that demeanor and our actions are saying, well, who can check me? I'm the bishop. I'm the prophet. I'm the apostle. Who can check me? Guess what? God can check you. Don't let it become dangerous. Some just here today just to tell you, checkpoint. It's a wake-up time for the church. Wake up. It's time to wake up in the church. It's time to wake up, leadership, and realize that you are certainly being checked. Someone is watching you, and if no one is watching you, guess what? God is watching you on today. So I want to leave you with that word today that get yourself an accountability partner, and don't get a yes man. Get someone who's going to tell you the truth no matter what. They're going to tell it like it is. because it's going to be important to you. Because one day you will be judged, and you're going to give account for every word that came out of your mouth. I'm Reverend Kevin McClendon, and I want to close this message today by saying, stay strong, don't quit, and never give up. And remember, whatever you do, I want to leave you with this as well. I said this on last week, but I'm going to say it again today, just to remind you. Gone too far, stayed too long, and can't get back. Meaning, you went too far. You didn't have an accountability partner. No one there was to check you. So you went too far. You just got carried away in the flesh. No one could tell you what to do. You didn't have any accountability partner. You did what you was big enough to do. Gone too far. Then you got out there, you didn't have any covering, and you stayed too long.
That's right.
And guess what? You tried your best to find your way back to God, but you couldn't find your way back, and you couldn't get back. Gone too far, stayed too long, and couldn't get back. This is Reverend Kevin McClendon, Souls Harbor, Full Gospel Church. And I certainly thank you, and may God bless you.